Can agree on is that everyone is outraged by what happened in Vegas, which surely did not stay in Vegas as Congress starts day 2 of those hearings into the extravagant GSA conference that was held in 2010. During yesterday's heated hearing, Congressman Elijah Cummings took a moment to defend government workers.
One of the most damaging aspects of this incident is that it tarnishes the reputation of hard-working government workers who dedicate their lives to public service. It gives them a bad name, and it is completely unfair. There are scrupulous employees across this government who follow the rules every single day.
Joining me now is Representative Cummings. I know you have a lot of government workers in your constituency representing Maryland.
I do.
But the outrage over this, I heard what you said yesterday. You were, to put it bluntly, you said you were pissed off, as was everyone on the committee over what they did. What were they thinking? And more is coming out now about bonuses that colleagues were awarding each other. Tell me, where do we stand now on this GSA investigation?
Well, right now, and we stand at a point where we're still looking into it. There was a Transportation Committee hearing today that I was a part of also, because I'm also a part of that committee, where we're learning more and more facts every day. But the good thing, Andrea, is that a Democrat appointee is the one who was a whistleblower with regard to all of this. And I'm so glad it's come to light, because this gives us an idea of what may be going on in some of these agencies with regard to conferences. And so we've got to make sure that we shine a bright light on it, and we've got to address it. And it's a good thing that the president has now appointed an interim, Mr. Tangellini, to clean up this mess, because it's truly a mess.
Well, but the bottom line is that people are angry at government, and that does translate into a throw the bums out kind of mentality on election day. I mean, all of you folks, Republicans and Democrats, are vulnerable when this kind of thing happens.
No doubt about it, and I think that's why members of the committee were so upset. But the fact is that we are addressing it, and I don't think that this is widespread, this kind of activity. We've got to make sure that it's not, and wherever we find it, we're going to address it. We made it very clear that you cannot take the taxpayers' dollars and go out and hire mind readers and clowns and paying unfortunately high amounts for rooms for people to go on vacation. And these folks were spending the money as if it were theirs. And this fellow, Neely, who took the fifth, he is certainly a key person in all of this, but I suspect there are others, and we will get to them, and they will be brought to justice and be made to pay back the money that they owe the taxpayers.
Now, at the same time, we're facing another investigation, one which hits very close to home and which could have involved compromising the security of the President of the United States. Secret Service, the legendary institution, this agency, which is so highly regarded, has been blemished by this. What do we now know, and what more do you want to know about it?
I want to know how this happened. I'll be meeting with the head of the Secret Service in a few minutes, as a matter of fact, to get more details. But clearly, if these allegations...
What are you going to ask him, Congressman?
I'm going to ask him how does something like this happen? That the public has a view of the Secret Service, that they are very careful, that they don't put themselves in any kind of compromising positions. I'm going to ask him, how does this happen? Is this something that to his knowledge has happened before? And I'm going to ask him, how do we regain the trust? All of us in Congress have a tremendous amount of respect for the Secret Service, so we've got to get all the facts. And then once we get the facts, we're going to have to figure out how we make sure that the Secret Service is a very professional organization that we've already thought of it as being. But I consider the allegations, and I remind you they are allegations, are very serious, because they could affect the very safety of the President of the United States and so many of our public officials whose lives are guarded by the Secret Service. So it's very serious.
Well, they are only allegations, but they have they've revoked the security clearances of these 11 men. The Pentagon has confirmed that they had a number of personnel from a variety of services, including the Marines, involved as well. And now Susan Collins, Senator Collins from Homeland Security Committee, the ranking member there, has told our own Senate producer Libby Least that twice as many women were involved, that she's been told by the agency director, Sullivan, that we're talking about 20 or 21 women involved with the 11 men.
Well, I will be finding out in a few minutes exactly how many people were involved. But again, no matter how deep it is, how many people were involved, we've got to get to the crux of this. Because, you know, Andrea, as I travel throughout my district, one of the questions that is asked most of me is, do you think the president is safe? And I got to tell you, this puts a big question mark on that very issue. And so the president has to have the confidence that he's safe. The American people have to have the confidence that this elite organization that I consider on the level of the Navy SEALs is exactly what it says that it is. And so, again, it's a little early, but we'll get to the bottom of it. I promise you, we'll address it. As a matter of fact, I think it would be congressional malpractice if we did not address it.
Well, knowing you, Congressman, I know that you will get to the bottom of it. Thank you very much, Elijah Cummings. Thanks for being with us today. And this